and that's why I'm who I am, and that's why I can get through what I can get through. Do you know what I mean?
That's massive.
Yeah, that's huge. That's powerful, and especially like you only started the kind of whole journey in November, say, of the therapy and everything else. You fought then in February. Does going into those places, opening up those wounds while preparing for a fight, is that difficult to balance?
I had to say to him like 3 weeks before the last one, I was like, I can't keep doing it. It's called EDMR therapy, so it's like proper, like you don't have to speak.
It's eye related?
Yeah, eye related. And basically, there was a Canadian figure skater, couldn't do a free spins and landing.
Yeah. Okay.
So they because he'd got injured, so they was in therapy and they was talking like flash therapy and all this shit. And as the therapist was talking to the athlete, like he moved his hand and he's seen that the athlete's eye stuck, and he was like starting to shake. And he's like, right, keep thinking about what are you thinking about? And he was telling him, he's like, keep focusing on that. And then he dropped it and then he put it back. He's like, right, think about it again. And then every time he was processing the feeling of the emotion. And then the next day he rang up the therapist or she, I can't remember now. I've gone and fucking smashed it. I've landed. I've done it. And what basically he was like, it's like trauma's stuck in the body. What you will know, like it's stuck in. And the only way to get it out is like, I suppose sometimes people might go and do ayahuasca and take drugs and this kind of thing, and you're shaking it out and you're paging it out.
Physical
but
release.
And this way is like through your body, you're just like looking, and your body is like, everyone will probably page different or process different. Yeah. Like when I'm working through mine, I get like really tired and my eyes won't stop blinking, and that's when I know I'm processing, and he'll have to wipe it out, and every time you think about it, you work through it. And like the first thing I worked through with him is like, right, we're going to start, we want you fighting, and when you're going to training and thinking about fighting, I want you like, he's like, how do you feel now? I was like, oh, I'm not fucking getting in that case. And I was like, embarrassment, shame, and just heartbreak. And he's like, right, what's the feeling? I was like, being on the fucking floor, snapped arm, looking at Stormzy and Maya Jammer in bits, like, looking at Paddy in bits, going into the changing room, being that petrified about going online. Yeah. Like, I was ridiculed last July. It hits me now to think, fuck, I'm a big deal then. For that many people to, like, that's how I see it now. But then I was like, so I had to work through all of that. Yeah. And then we got to a point where he's like, right, all that trauma's done now, about you fighting. And then he explained to me about, like, I had attached my abandonment trauma to fighting from my dad dying. So we worked through that. He's like, we'll fix the rest after the next one. So in February, I finished my fight. I'm on cloud 9. He goes, right, time to get to work on the rest. Do you know what I mean? So knowing myself and knowing my boundaries is like, come on then, let's go. Let's really dig fucking deep here. But it's like, he knew there was a certain point where he's like, you're too open now. Let's shut you off. Let's close you down. Put that to bed and then we'll come back for it. So therapy and working through your trauma. I think when you're a child from the 90s or the 80s, 70s or 60s, you've probably, like anyone in the 90s, I think just really probably has got so much generational cases and so much trauma that just gets systematically put down through years. It's a bit tough, and I think we should all do a little bit of work and consistent work. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not what the man of the house would probably do back in the day, because you have to look a certain way. And I'm not asking you to be a snowflake. I'm not asking you to be out here and be the softest of the soft. A strong man protects his family and protects himself also. Do you know what I mean? Like, to the men listening, I'm not saying get the tissues out and you've got to, like, masculinity. Like, I don't know how to say the word. Like, you don't have to demasculate yourself, but you can stand there and go, how can I be a better man for my family? How can I show up better without coming home fuming, kicking off, shouting at my kids, and then giving them what you've probably
passing
been
that
through?
On, yeah.
I'm not just saying an Irish man, I'm saying it's Scouse, I'm saying everyone, and women, not just be quiet, sat in the corner, don't speak, or not fucking hit the men either because you're pissed off at what they've done. Let's work through it and see why. Just be better people, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, What message?
Well, I bet you weren't expecting this for a
Molly for
podcast,
president.
was
I'll
you?
be honest, not that I was expecting it. I was kind of hoping for it because I listened to some of you on Fearn's podcast and then other things you've done, and mental health, like self-awareness, self-reflection seems to be coming up a lot more.
I just think this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I suppose people get to this point and then become shit at fighting because they're soft.
Yes.
And I'm just not there.
No, we were talking to you about sparring before this, and
No, she is.
I am not
the intensity is still there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But do you find it hard to, like, I don't want to say soft mode and hard mode, but do you find it hard to go from Molly who's at home and like she's self-aware and she takes care of herself and mentally, spiritually she's there, and Molly who's in the cage throwing elbows and knocking out people?
So what I've realised is I've been fighting off fight or flight my whole career until the last 2 wins. It was just a fight. It was fucking chaos and I was fighting. And then the more work I've done, you look at that last fight that I won, I was just like, it was like the Matrix. I was just calm.
Yeah, you're phenomenal.
So impressive.
Yeah.
So
And then
impressive.
the last fight that I won before that was an elbow, but it weren't like the one where I nearly killed
Yes,
her.
yeah.
And that was the same, composed, calm. And if I think that way and I'm off flow, no one's got a chance. But I think this is what my last relationship probably struggled on a bit. Out of camp, I'm like all lovey. Oh my God, like you're my words. And then the second I am in camp, it's like boom. And the closer we're at this point now where we're 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
And I am struggling to switch off because you have to just like, you go into war, so you're prepping the body for that. And after a spar or after an intense session, I can't just come out of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and Paddy's the same. It's like someone can say something and we'd be like, what?
Yes.
What? How was that funny? No.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Liam McCourt, like literally last week, I was like, and just left. And then an hour later, voice note was like, don't know if I was off key. I don't know if I was like rude. I didn't mean to be. If it was, the tone in which I spoke to wasn't acceptable. I'm sorry. And she's like, no, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But I was like, I would never, ever, ever think to reach out or check in.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we don't have fucking time either. Like with it, like everyone gets it. But I just thought like now I am trying to be
Better, yeah.
Yeah.